Wolves game, scored 23 threes. Is this exactly the night that the offense really needed to get going here?
Well, I mean, it's a night that when you make 2 out of every 3 shots, you're going to score a lot of points, particularly if a lot of them are 3. So I've just been really pleased with the quality of shots we've been able to generate over the last few games. And then that kind of sparks a rhythm, and guys can kind of feel where the shot may come from, and they're shooting with a lot of confidence. So yeah, we talked about getting up more threes, and we've been trying to do that. Tonight was obviously an exaggerated example of it.
You talked about the injuries and how that presents opportunities to some other guys to step up. How do you feel like Nate Knight has embraced that opportunity?
It's been great. Everybody's really stepped up. Nas stepped up into the role, then he goes down. Nate stepped up. Luka gave us great minutes, particularly in his second shift out there in the third. Everyone's really played well for us. Brandon, I thought, played well too. He's been playing well. So.
Do you think Ant kind of being forced in a situation where he had to play make for others, I don't know, turned on a light where that can maybe be a more consistent thing moving forward?
Sometimes when he's been trapped a lot, or they've been up on him in pick and roll, it forces you to pass, forces you to see the floor, it forces you to change kind of your mindset about, where your teammates are. I think he's doing a really good job of understanding where his teammates are early in the possession, and then puts pressure on the defense and to make the pass later. He's really filling up a stat sheet right now. Like the other night, he had 11 rebounds and 7 assists, and tonight's the opposite. But just doing it all.
Did it feel good to deliver a performance at home that fans could kind of have fun with throughout, given some of the other games that have happened here this year?
Yeah, for sure. We haven't played well at home. We just haven't. But we played better at home the last few times we played. Just again, this is one of the quirkiness of every team has its own idiosyncrasies. But we've said long, this is a great sports town. You got to give them a reason to come out and cheer for you, and I think we're doing a better job of that.
What did you like defensively in the fourth quarter that really seemed to kind of create that separation?
I thought we did a better job as the fourth quarter went on of defending without fouling as much. We started out a lot of little fouls and rebounding. We rebounded well.
Chris, it's kind of rare that a team has 5 big centers. How have you kind of approached that this season of keeping them engaged? Because when guys have come in, it seems like they've taken that opportunity.
Yeah, I think I said it pregame to. I think Nas is a great example of just staying ready. He's played every role from the third 5 to the fourth 4 or whatever, to a starter to a couple DMPs at times. And he's just stayed ready. We have great flexibility in our roster. We felt that we had that, even throughout, times when we had the more traditional big lineup. So we still have flexibility, just being able to get all those guys opportunity. But and then just we were able to just kind of the depth helped right now. That's why you do it. So.
And then with D'Angelo, this past month, the shooting is kind of next level. He is one of those players who kind of goes in these bursts. As a coach, do you try and foster that happening? Knowing that if he's hit a couple, he is one of those guys who can kind of
I try to to within reason try to ride the hot hand. Leave guys in when they're in a groove. But he was just coming back from a couple days out, and unfortunately I took him out right at the end of a couple really good runs that he was having, and it took us a little while to find our rhythm. Then Ant got going when D'Lo left the floor. But generally, I kind of try to leave that latitude to be able to do that. The single biggest key for D'Angelo and me is the shooting. Is just he's not thinking about it, just letting it fly. It's clean, it's quick, he's shooting with a ton of confidence, he's getting great looks, his dribble threes are good ones too, in a good rhythm, and that's the thing he's changed the most, less hesitancy.
You have Cat and Rudy are both players that need to be fed whenever they're on the court.
Yeah.
And Jaden and Kyle don't to some extent. the fact that you have guys in the backcourt that really can get their own without worrying about the way things are supposed to work. Do you think that helps both Ant and D'Lo right now? I mean, I know
Yeah.
D'Lo has said earlier in the year, feeding guys became a little bit too much of a preoccupation.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly has helped them find the rhythm, you know, the rhythm together, the rhythm individually. And, you know, I thought from the beginning of the season, like you've heard me say, like the two bigs have, when they played together, they have their own rhythm. And the guards now have found a rhythm. And now the key is, you know, when we all get back together and, you know, we got to marry it up. But, you know, and I think also we can learn some lessons with our spacing. You know, we didn't come into the season intentionally trying to make Cat just a corner spacer, but I do believe we have to take way more advantage of his shooting and just maybe parking him in the corner a little bit more at times. But you know, having said that, you know, we fed Nate, Knight, and those guys rolling to the hoop all night long. So we got to be able to do it all. You know, I think we got complementary skill sets out there that should allow us to take advantage of that. But
It seems like the key is it isn't overly deliberate, that you guys are able to play more in a natural flow.
Yeah.
And both D'Lo and Ant feel like they're not betraying anything if they just decide they're gonna go for theirs.
yeah, I mean, they're both aggressive scorers in their own right, but they're also playmaking at a high level. You know, some of that's dictated, I think, defenses are making choices that we're kind of recognizing and taking advantage of right now. You know, I think it also starts with them and trusting that the ball does come back to them enough, you know, and we have to make sure that does, so, because they have to give it up and initiate a lot of offense, so.
This kind of parallels what happened last year around this time of year where you had a bunch of guys out.
Yeah.
Offense played really well with reserves stepping up into bigger roles. Is there maybe something about whether it's this number of games played in a season where you can figure some things out, or just getting a different look also maybe helps with when guys eventually come back?
Everywhere I've ever been, like offensively, certainly when you have a new group, it takes about 20 to 25 games. It just does. You know, when you have an existing group, you should be, you know, quicker out of the gate when it comes to that. What it shows you is that we're not holding the ball as much. You know, we have less ball stoppers on the floor at any given time, and now we can see the rhythm of the offense. And I'm a big believer of you got to see the rhythm of the offense. We watch a ton of film where we play well, you know, because we play with a lot of freedom and randomness, but you have to feel that and see that. And I think when guys see it and you know, see how much fun it is and how, you know, their teammates can help too, you know, I think it hopefully breeds like some momentum in the offense.
You kind of touched on it earlier and with that answer, but you speak often of guys having to trust, you have trust in the offense that the ball's going to come back around. Do you sense a growing trust among
I do absolutely sense a growing trust. I also sense a growing sense of accountability. Guys know when they've like taken bad shots and they should have moved it on and stuff like that, you know. So they're doing it, and then those things happen. That's basketball, but it comes from a way more genuine place. So.
Just curious if you heard anything on Nas.
No, I didn't really, man. Some sort of like trap muscle or something like that. I don't know.
So you're kind of hoping for the similar effect that literally did come from that COVID period last year?
I mean, I'm hoping for winning.
Yeah, but the same effect of like the way offense moved and everything. That's exactly what you described, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, seeing us play well like that and putting a lot of things in, you know, on video where we can like learn and teach from. You know, there's a lot of parallels to last year, like the rhythm of the season, but the teams are so different, you know. So, but to your point, yeah, no doubt.
Chris, I think you guys shot something like 77% on 2-pointers tonight, and moved really, really well without the basketball. What do you think about that cutting specifically you can look at tonight and really try to take with you into this next week or so?
Yeah, I thought our spacing was outstanding. It opened up a lot of interior opportunities for us, whether we were rolling or whether we were cutting, or early on when we first started to get going and was driving. Ant did a really good job of driving to the hoop, and so yeah, that's where we want to go there first. We're trying to get to the rim first. So. Thanks, guys.